Because her jersey surpassed the all-time woman, Caitlin Clark, the most popular woman ever in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark got her jersey surpassed by Sophie Cunningham. Why? Because Sophie Cunningham stood up for Caitlin Clark. She did all of these Instagrams. She did all of this stuff. And next thing you know, it all didn't matter. It didn't matter. I mean, I'm looking at her Instagram now.
And so it's just trying to make everyone match and make sure we're all just having good vibes, right? You know, the seasons has a bunch of highs and lows. And so just trying to keep a level head on everyone. But I also think that we get to play basketball for a living, and that's super fun. So sometimes you just need a good perspective of like, hey, we're in the grind right now and it feels hard. But at the end of the day, we get to dribble a ball for a living.
In just one jaw-dropping day, the WNBA got rocked to its very core, blindsided and scrambling to keep control. The league tried to shut her down with a fine, but instead of folding, she leveled up into a straight-up icon. Overnight, fans were hailing her as a legend, and now, she's even getting hit with offers from pro wrestling. This isn't just hoops anymore. This is feeling like an all-out street showdown. It all exploded after one nasty foul. Sophie Cunningham takes a clean shot to the head, but the whistle, silent. Seconds later, a neck grab. Again, crickets from the refs. The arena went wild, but Sophie? No way she was staying quiet. She hopped on TikTok and cooked the refs alive, calling them slow, useless, and blind. That post went nuclear. 1.3 million views in minutes. The comments were chaos, fans splitting sides like it was a championship brawl. After the buzzer, cameras caught Caitlin Clark and Sophie storming toward the ref, ready to demand answers. But Sophie wasn't just mad. She flipped the fine into pure swagger. She laughed it off. No fear, no apology. Then, when game night hit, she rolled up making headlines again, rocking the now iconic Arbys tee reading, "Hot girls eat Arbys." The crowd went crazy, and the internet, it completely melted down. This wasn't just some cheeky stunt. It was a cold-blooded power play. Fans were hooked, memes were flooding every corner of the internet, and then, boom, Arby's official account slides in, crowning her the unapologetic queen.
See, after the game, Caitlin Clark and Sophie are both running up to the referee here. They are both so upset, and the referee is just walking away from them. He won't even look at them in the face. He keeps turning. Like, Sophie even went up at one point and is like tapping on his arm. He would not even look at them. You guys, I have watched so much basketball in my lifetime, so much NBA, so much professional basketball. It's comical at times when you see the players after the games talking to the refs, because a lot of them end up knowing each other at a certain point because they've reffed their game so many times. The fact that this referee wouldn't even acknowledge the play.
At that point, Sophie wasn't just in the game. She was running the whole show. The reactions came crashing in, people shouting, "This is iconic!" And Sophie just ended the WNBA with a t-shirt. Within hours, that Arby's tee vanished from shelves nationwide, completely sold out in all 50 states. By the next day, over 800,000 shirts gone, millions made, and not a single dime sliding into the WNBA's pockets. The league tried to bury her, but Sophie flipped it into what might be the boldest marketing power move women's sports has ever seen. And the fallout? Straight savage. The WNBA didn't just lose control, they lost their biggest spotlight. Sophie's TikTok shot up from 300,000 followers to over 1.7 million in a matter of days. Brands started circling like hungry sharks. Jersey sales went through the roof, and then came the plot twist. Lakers owner Jeannie Buss stepping in with an offer for Sophie to join WOW, Women of Wrestling, and the role on the table? The enforcer. Not just to hold her own, but to guard none other than Caitlin Clark. Just like that, Caitlin's name got pulled right into the storm. Then Angel Reese poured gasoline on the fire, reposting Sophie's Arby's clip with a single fire emoji and the caption, "They scared of real ones." Here's the truth the WNBA will never admit. They built a star they can't leash, and now she's bigger than the game itself. The league made this monster. Instead of cleaning up shady officiating, they come down on their players. Instead of listening to their stars, they try to muzzle them. And Sophie? She's no longer just an athlete. She's the face of a straight-up rebellion, dripping in Arby's sauce for that extra style hit. Now fans are asking the question nobody in the front office wants to hear. Can the WNBA even protect its own stars anymore? Or is this whole league slowly eating itself alive from the inside? Sophie's rise proved something real. Authentic energy crushes control. Speaking up hits harder than silence. And when the crowd's riding with you, a fine's nothing but the receipt for your next flex. But here's the twist nobody had on their bingo card. The WNBA's big fix might be banning all branded clothing. That's their master plan? Not fixing trash officiating, not stepping up leadership, just trying to lock the players down tighter.
This arrangement into the Chicago Sky game. Of course, the Indiana Fever, I would like to say beat the brakes off the Sky, but really it felt like they underachieved a good bit yesterday with so many Sky members being out of the lineup. But nonetheless, she came walking in to the arena yesterday wearing that. There she is right there. Let's just bring this up over at Tater Report. There she is right there. Hot girls eat Arbys. I can only imagine, and I have no idea. I would assume this is some kind of spot.
And Sophie's clapback? A perfectly timed Instagram story. Rocking a thick gold chain stamped with 5K Fine Club, while chomping into an Arby's burger like she owned the whole franchise. Within hours, that 5K Fine Club flex blew up all over again. Memes, edits, fan art, flooding feeds like a tidal wave. Arbys jumped in, dropping a limited edition Fine Club meal, and fans were literally lining up just to be part of the chaos. Suddenly, reporters were skipping the game talk and swarming Sophie to grill her on whether she was taking the wrestling deal or if she was about to push the league even further into mayhem. Behind the curtain, whispers started spreading, other players plotting to pull the same move. Some were talking about walking into games dripping in their own branded fits, daring the league to fine them on the spot. Sponsors smelled the momentum too.
National television every game. That helps your brand. You come to play with the Fever because you're playing with Caitlin Clark. You become friends with one of the most powerful, popular athletes in America. But then there's always that moment. And for Sophie Cunningham, that moment occurred the other day with a takedown, a grab. It was perceived that she was protecting Clark. It wasn't really that, but that's all right. Let perceptions rule. And now people are interested. It's good. It's great.
Sophie wasn't the only one getting brand calls now. What started as one player's rebellion was morphing into a silent revolt. And every day, the WNBA's grip looked shakier. And then, boom! Rumors dropped that Sophie's camp is in talks for a full-blown documentary deal. Cameras rolling on every meeting, every fine, every viral clapback. If that's real, the league's not just dealing with a rogue star, they're about to be caught in the middle of the most-watched saga in women's basketball history. Days later, the whispers blew up into front-page headlines. Netflix and Amazon were reportedly locked in a bidding war for Sophie's story. Word on the street was the offers were in the millions. And Sophie's camp? Not denying a single thing. The WNBA tried to drag the spotlight back onto the games, but it was way too late. Sophie had hijacked the entire season and turned it into her own personal stage. Crowds were pulling up to arenas rocking bootleg Hot Girls Eat Arbys tees, waving 5K Fine Club signs, and chanting her name louder than the home team's intros. Even rival players were grinning during warm-ups, clearly loving the storm she'd kicked up. Every game she touched was selling out, not for the scoreboard, but because everyone wanted to see what wild stunt she'd pull next. Then came her ultimate mic drop. Sophie strolled into a post-game presser in a velvet Arby's bomber jacket, gold hoop swinging, milkshake in hand. A reporter asked if she was worried about stacking up more fines, and she leaned into the mic with a smirk. "They can't fine me for being real." The room erupted, the clip went viral, and the WNBA's silence spoke louder than any statement they could have made.
Now everybody knows who Sophie Cunningham is. Everybody wants a piece of Sophie Cunningham. Her jersey is the #1 selling jersey in the WNBA. Sold out. Now,
From there, the floodgates burst. Players were openly picking sides. Some dropped cryptic tweets like, "Finally, someone said it," while others doubled down defending the league. The internet turned into a war zone. Tar Team Sophie and Har Protect the League trending side by side, each racking up thousands of posts a minute. One of the wildest twists hit when a veteran star, someone famous for staying far away from drama, went live on Instagram and dropped a bomb. We've all dealt with bad calls, but Sophie had the guts to call it out. The chat went insane. Flame emojis flying, fans begging her to join Sophie's fine club like it was a VIP list. At this point, Sophie wasn't just a baller, she was the face of a full-blown movement. Every post she dropped felt like a calculated chess move, and every WNBA reaction came off more desperate than the last. Press conferences turned awkward fast, reporters straight up asking the commissioner about Sophie by name, and you could see the strain in every tight-lipped answer. Then Sophie made her boldest tease yet, hinting she had one more surprise lined up before the season wrapped. Nobody knew if it meant a wild stunt, a massive collab, or a full-on walkout. But one thing was crystal clear. She had the league right in the palm of her hand. And now the freshest rumor tearing through the timeline, Arbys isn't done. They're ready to make Sophie the face of their entire national campaign, with a reported $2 million check waiting for her signature. At this point, it's not just Sophie winning. It's every athlete who's ever been told to shut up and play watching someone flip the whole script live and unfiltered. She's turned fines into fashion statements, beef into branding gold, and now she's got corporate America riding for her while the league sits on the sidelines looking powerless. If you think Sophie Cunningham just rewrote the entire playbook for athletes everywhere, drop a fire emoji in the comments. And tell me, has the WNBA cracked under the heat, or are they just scared of the very stars they built? Make sure you smash that like, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss the next drop. Because trust me, we're just getting started. Coming up next, the untold story of how Caitlin Clark nearly walked away from the league over backroom politics, and you do not want to miss this.